With time running out, can our party find the truth? And if they find it, what will they do with it? Find out next on the Adventurers Guild.
On the continent of Bolanthar, in the city of Dakar, there is a place where heroes are forged, where legends are built one story at a time. What you do with this opportunity is in your hands, and the hands of fate. The Adventurers Guild.
Hello, and welcome to the Adventurers Guild. I am your host and Dungeon Master, Paul Cosca, and you are watching a weekly live-streamed D&D anthology show. This is episode 4 of our current mission, and in a minute, I'm going to catch you up on everything you need to know, because we are right in the thick of it. But first, let's go ahead and say hello to our players. Hello, players.
Hello.
Hi.
A quick question. How are your characters feeling about helping someone as deeply unpleasant as Matthew Yarnell?
We're all unpleasant in our own ways. I mean,
I feel like some of the other characters would disagree with that, but okay.
Gallows is considered unpleasant by people, so he's definitely feeling the urge to burn everything to the ground again. But he's doing all right. He's sticking it in so far.
All right. Anyone else want to chime in with how their characters are feeling at the moment?
I feel like I don't have to answer that.
I know.
But it's fine. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
Ariel is considered completely pleasant, and she's not super happy about it.
Yeah.
Cool, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Good to know. Let's go ahead and do the recap. Make sure my music's at the right level. Oh, looking pretty good. So, to recap. The party has been sent to the capital city of Bolanthar, employed by defense attorney Judah Ianholder to aid his client, Matthew Yarnell. Yarnell is accused of being the Butcher of Bolanthar, a prolific serial killer. He killed over 20 women over 2 years. Hassan and Skamos met a man last year who they believed to be the actual Butcher, and they watched him die. Many in the party are convinced of Yarnell's innocence in this, even if he might be a terrible person otherwise. The party is following up on a number of leads for information, including talking to Yarnell's wife, going to the university to get information about the real Butcher, and going on a ghost tour related to the case. But for now, they've tracked down the address of the lead detective on the case, a man named Charles Allenbach. So as we begin, you are at the door of Detective Allenbach. I'll bring him up here. You have convinced him at least enough to open the door for you.
Just me.
Yes. Well, let's see how well he notices. He kind of makes a little bit of note of people around, those who he can see, but does address you directly. So, you have made the effort to come here to my house. How can I help you?
So I thought really hard about this. Is Lauren speaking. I thought really hard about this over this last week, and I hope no one will be disappointed. So Hassan, after internal struggle for a moment, takes a shaky breath and says, actually, I'm here because I want to ask you some questions about the Butcher of Bolanthar. Of the Butcher, the man in prison right now. And I really hope you will take the time to talk to me because, to be quite honest, I desperately want to believe that he's guilty, and I have been told that you have evidence that proves that he is, and I would very much like if you could share that with me.
Well, if you desperately want to believe he's guilty, my suggestion is, believe that.
I'm not the sort of person to believe it without evidence. I want to, but I'm not going to condemn someone who's innocent.
Forgive my impetuousness. Who are you, and why would it matter to me that you are convinced?
Well, myself and a few others were... What? Don't
I was gonna
you're
say-
not there. You're not
No,
there.
I just didn't know if we could overhear this conversation since we're
Um,
around the corner.
from around the corner? No, because you went
Okay.
around the back to make sure he didn't run out the back, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you 100% cannot hear it. The rest of you, I would say, if you wanted to make insight checks, could kind of catch the tenor of the conversation. Ariel, from what I recall, has kind of like, no thanks. But if the rest of you want to make insight checks, you can at least gauge how the conversation is going.
I almost got a 9.
9. Okay. Tyrier, did you roll?
No, Tyrier was headed around back with Crick Stomp.
Got it. And Josie, did you want to roll for that?
No,
Okay.
I
You don't
want
have
to
to.
remain hidden. Well, not hidden. So there's people going to the back. Lauren is in the front, right?
Yeah, so
me change that.
Tyrier and Crickstump went around back. Hasan is at the front door. Ariel has kind of wandered off a bit to not involve herself.
She's on the
Skamos,
side of the
okay.
building.
Skamos, I believe you're kind of like across the street. Is that correct?
Yeah, near the mailbox probably.
Okay. And so, Josie, you can be where you would like to be, besides right at the front door.
I'm scared to leave Hasan alone, just in case this is the guy, like the butcher. And just, can I walk up to the door and introduce myself?
In the middle of our conversation?
I'm your security.
Well, that wasn't like part of the original plan. That's why I'm just
Yeah,
will
no,
throw
that-
me off
that-
because
When the plan was originally put together, Hasan went up alone to kind of break the ice. But at this point, you can do what you're going to do.
Do you actually need backup? Do you feel safe around this guy? Because I'm scared you're gonna go into the house.
I mean,
and
I
then
can't communicate
go-
that information
Yeah.
right now.
But what I would
So-
say is go ahead and roll that insight check, and you can determine for yourself how you feel about it.
Insight, that is +2. That is a 11 + 2, 13.
You don't detect anything threatening here. He is armed. So are all of you. He's not making any threatening moves or gestures or not yelling or anything. You don't really get any kind of vibe that Hasan is in danger.
Okay. I just wait out in the front,
Okay.
just in case he tries to make a break for it.
All right. Yeah, so at this point, no one can actually hear this conversation. And he says,
Tell the truth.
so, who is it that you are with, working for?
We're with a group called the Adventurers Guild from Takar. We were hired to prove this man innocent, but we haven't been paid, and I'm not someone to just, I don't know, do what I'm told if I don't feel it's right, which is why I just need evidence, and we've had no success, and I'm just hoping you can help us out of the goodness of your heart.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
Minimum of what? 16?
Something like that.
Yeah. Minimum of 24.
It's a 25.
Okay. He sighs a little. It doesn't look like he's very overly enthused about having this conversation, but he's having it. He says, Matthew Yarnell is a terrible person.
I gathered that.
I have run into him quite a few times before. He's been under our care more than once. So when this newest victim came up, I rounded up everyone who might be in the kind of group to kill a woman in cold blood. When I rounded him up, he had scratches all across his face and no alibi. No one can vouch for where he was, and he was obviously in a fight with someone. And he has beaten women before, beaten men before. He's certainly been in the company of women of the night.
So he was the best option.
There is nothing to indicate that he didn't do it. And there's all kinds of things to indicate that he did. And Matthew Yarnell is a terrible person. Nothing will be lost when he hangs.
I hope you can convince yourself of that as it weighs on your conscience.
My conscience is extremely clear.
Can I make a insight check to see if that's really all? Like this, like pretty much just talking about the evidence, like the scratches and that he has no alibi. Like, is that really just like that's their case?
Go ahead and roll an insight check.
It's an 8.
Okay. Detective Allenbach is quite inscrutable. He's an older guy. You can see that he's been doing this a long time. And his face looks very relaxed. He does not, he's hard to read.
Okay. I ask him, as I mentioned, I am with a few companions. Do you mind if they meet you?
On one condition.
And what is that?
That after we're all done here, go ahead and lose my address.
I can do that.
Great.
I don't leave the doorstep because I'm worried he will shut the door and lock it.
That's
but
fair.
I do turn around and I wave to Skamos across the street and Josie, who I guess is kind of nearby.
Yeah.
And let them come forward if they want to.
And I think that those who went around the side, you can see Skamos and Josie start to walk forward, so you can take that as a cue to come if you wish.
And I will stay placed there so that what's this guy's name? Charles? Abraham? Oh, sorry. Why did I think Abraham?
You had it the first time.
Charles. Okay. I stay kind of in between so that Charles doesn't feel like we're gonna try to barge into his home. I don't want him to feel like we're gonna go in.
Yeah, it's worth noting he is armed. He has a pistol on his hip. He's not defenseless and
Great. Sounds good. So yeah, I don't have any other questions. That's why if anyone else wants, brief introductions of names, but then I let other people talk. So
he stands patiently, not warmly, but patiently, and kind of looks around to the rest of you. Yes. Little one, yes.
It's a nice piece you got there.
Thank you.
Where'd you get it?
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
I'm just trying it out, gee. Can't make small talk in this world, jeez. Plus 3. Let's go.
Doesn't look like a small talk kind of guy, to be honest.
7 plus 3.
Bought it from a shop in town.
Oh. What kind of shop?
Shop that sells guns.
Oh. A shop that sells guns. Don't see
Hasan
those
kind of
too
like
often.
clears his throat and kind of like gives you a look like, okay, anyone have anything to
Yeah, Charles.
I can't finish my thing, please.
I thought you were talking about his gun.
Hey, listen. I'm sure you gave some pretty convincing answers to our good friend Hasan, but would you be willing to answer some questions under oath?
What exactly do you have in mind?
Well, I do have this handy dandy lie detector that will detect if you are telling a lie. Will you willingly submit to this lie detector test?
I am not beholden to you, and have no interest in having some kind of magic put on me.
Do you have something to hide?
Go ahead. Are you trying to persuade or intimidate, or what's the strategy here?
I would like to persuade him to answer some questions in the zone of truth so we can confirm his innocence.
Okay. Go ahead and make a persuasion check at disadvantage.
Can't be persuasive here. Okay, disadvantage. Okay. That's plus 3. Okay. That is a 17 and a 9. So a 9 plus 3, that is a 12.
He shifts a little bit and he says, "What I am most interested in is watching him hang in a couple of days and closing the book on this really terrible chapter in our city."
But what will you do when there's another murder because he's not the right man? And how will you answer for it then?
Go ahead and make an insight check, Ariel.
By the way, this is just Zach. That was a great question.
You see his brow twitch, and you're like, oh, got him.
Natural one.
Okay.
He's gonna slam the door in our faces.
He looks at you like as the question finishes, he gives you like this cold look that just like you just feel like immediately shut down from it. And he says, "This is a terrible person that you are trying to set free. He has killed, and he will kill again."
You're 100% sure of that. It's not just your own personal bias that having to run in with his criminal
I am
times.
100% sure that the outcome of letting him go will be a murder.
Now,
You are
what?
not following the law of the land, and that is the principle at stake here.
I'm just curious, why exactly, if you're so confident in the success of this mission, why is it that you specifically took off so much time from work of late?
Well, the case is closed. I've been working this case for 2 years with almost no breaks. I've not taken a vacation. Most days I'm working 10 days a week. And now that he is behind bars, and now that he is set to hang, now I can take a little time for myself. I might even go fishing after he hangs.
You said you've been working this case for 2 years? It's an awfully long time.
It is.
This is probably rather odd, and you probably meet lots of people, but did you ever know anyone about 2 years ago named Alexander Lehane?
Name doesn't ring a bell.
I was just curious.
I appreciate your group. I have encountered the Adventurers Guild in the past. I get it. I get why you're here. I get why you're asking questions. It's your job, and you've been given this side of the story. I can appreciate that. But you are from a long ways away. You haven't felt what it has been to be here in the middle of a killing spree. For every woman in this city to be terrified of walking outside. We
And you
can
are giving
finally
them
breathe
false-
easily.
You are giving them false hope that it is all over, and that is not right. And she walks out the door, she's flustered
Okay?
over it.
Yeah, Josie.
I cast Zone of Truth.
Okay. Let's take a quick look here.
Charisma save. 12.
Cone, right? It's because we all have to make the save. If you're casting this just right here on the top of us.
Sure.
No, it's a radius sphere.
Okay. Well, anybody near it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a.
Christmas
Are you
Day?
trying to do this in a stealthy fashion?
No.
Okay. That charisma save, that is 16.
Congrats, you pass.
Okay. It was a
I didn't though.
14 on the die. If you want to ask Crickstump
We're gonna
anything,
ask
now's the
Crickstump
time.
anything we want.
Almost
Can I
did
cast
also
Bane on
not
him?
pass.
Yes, but that wouldn't affect this.
It's a saving throw.
Yeah, but isn't that a combat thing?
You can you could cast he's already made this charisma the throw for this. So Bane, if he failed for Bane, future rolls would be affected, but this Zone of Truth would not be affected. He's not continuously making this save.
So if I cast Bane and then cast Zone of Truth again, what's gonna happen?
Well, if he stands there for all of that, then he might be affected by that. I will say though, as the zone happens,
What does that look like? Something? Do we all notice it? Is it like a ring of light? Like, is that a thing? Like, what?
I pull
Is
out
it
a device and go boop, and then a blue light just surrounds all of us.
Okay,
Well, you have to
great. We
hide.
noticed.
he looks over and he says, "Well, I guess our conversation is over."
Who murdered the women?
And he shuts the door.
I'm
Okay,
still
well,
inside.
No, he has not let any of you inside.
Oh
You
yeah,
were
we
all at the
weren't
front.
inside. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
he
we're
has been standing in the doorway.
When
Answer the
Josie says
question.
that, I don't know if the detective even cares, but when Josie says that, Stamos shouts out Alexander Lehane.
Okay.
Well, yeah, but he doesn't
mean-
know who that is.
So does Crickstump, technically.
You're wrong. Everyone's wrong.
Alexander Lehane.
Alexander Lane.
That guy killed him.
Yeah, the door has closed.
Damn.
All right, can he hear us?
I give a big sigh and I walk away. I'm tired from that interaction.
I'm
so.
pretty. This guy's suspicious as fuck.
I need to go
I
take a
say this
deuce.
to the group quietly. This guy's suspicious as fuck. There. Oh well, he made a saving throw, so I guess we'll never know. But he didn't answer any of the questions directly.
He 100% did.
I mean, he did for me.
Yeah.
You dead straight said this guy did it.
But when Ariel asked him, like, what would you do if women keep?
Oh,
getting
just
murdered?
that question, no. But all the other questions Hasan had, like he was
Come
like,
on,
yeah,
he
this
wants
is-
the case to be over. He just wants it over. He just wants a fall guy, and he is
right. He even said that. He literally said, "Yo, this
That
guy's
doesn't
done bad
mean-
thing in the more. He fits all the criteria. It doesn't mean that he
Yeah,
thought."
I think we got
Yep.
what we suspected. I think is what he confirmed, and I am satisfied with that interaction.
Yep.
Just to confirm that we were correct and that the evidence is not much, but
the fact
he's a
that
bad guy.
The fact that he's been the lead detective on this case from the get-go makes perfect sense. That the second an opportunity presented itself, he wrapped it
Yeah.
up. Because
Yeah.
of the way the city is and everything like that, they need to know that the butcher is taken care of.
Yeah.
I
Did
think
anybody?
he did it though.
I mean, if he didn't, he's going to kill somebody, because the comment about if this guy goes free, there will be a murder sounded very.
I trust.
Just meaning like someone will die, whether it's a woman, a man, a bar fight, someone else will die.
I took that
Sounded
as he was
nefarious.
killing himself.
So to remind you of the timeline that you're on.
Yeah.
So right now we're looking at like 3-ish.
Okay.
You have time to, because I know what the plan was earlier, at least in our previous episode, is you do have time to go speak, to go to Yarnell's house and speak to his wife.
Yeah.
And those of you who wish to make your way back to the gallows to meet for the ghost tour have the time to do that. Like, you'll just make it on time. And if you're not wanting to do the ghost tour, you can do anything else you like.
Well, if everyone stayed with me, would we all have time to do that or no?
What do you mean stayed with you?
Because I said last time, like I have.
Oh, the moving quickly thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my one of my feats. Is I can just move quickly through a city.
I think in terms of, like, for instance, if Hasan, you're wanting to go to the university, there's just no way you're going to make it around.
Yeah,
back
and
in time.
I am not intending to go the ghost tour. I do want to go to the Yarnell's house and talk to his wife, but then I want to go to the university.
Is there anyone who does not want to, as your next stop, go to Yarnell's house?
I think we're all so interested in talking to the wife. We're like,
Yeah.
we all need to be there.
Yeah.
Also, she sounds like it's gonna be tough, so I want everyone there.
Yep, that's fair.
I'm like scared. She sounds scary.
All right. Is there
But Hasan's afraid of everyone.
Is there any other business that you want to do here at Charles Allenbach's house?
No.
Can we investigate the house at all
Sure.
for clues?
What would you like to, tell me what you want to do.
Does he have like a side shed?
Yes, just like examine the premises.
Yeah. So he's...
I feel like he's gonna be watching out the window.
That's
Sure,
fine.
Watch me.
This house is in like a group of similar houses. None of them are overly big. I'm gonna bring up my own labeled map here. So these are the houses that are like the blue houses around the prison. None of them are overly large, and none of them have yards or anything like that. It's kind of like cobblestones all around. So it is kind of like it's got other houses around it. There's little alleyways around it, but there are no outbuildings or anything like that. A quick perusal will show you that there are windows on the back side and on one of the sides as well as the front, and there is a back door.
Can I look for any bloodstains, drag marks,
sure.
footprints, anything?
Yeah,
like
go
that?
ahead and make an investigation check. If anyone else wants to also search, you can make that an advantage.
I mean, I'll look around with you.
Okay.
Investigate +1.
Yep. So make that an advantage.
That's a 19 +1.
So you give a pretty thorough search around. And you don't really notice anything out of place. You see that, some things you notice are that his name is on the mailbox that's like right attached to the house. You see that all the curtains are drawn. There is like a little window in the back door, and that doesn't have a curtain on it, so you can see through in there if you want. You look in, there's a kitchen. You don't notice any like dead bodies in there. But no, nothing seems suspicious. You don't see any blood or any drag marks or anything like that. At least from this investigation of the house, this does not look like a bunch of murders have happened here.
Is Quicksome with me?
I've just been like circling the premises.
Yeah.
Too.
How do you feel about B&E?
What?
I mean,
B&E.
I'm gonna stop you right there.
I still don't know what you said. What are you talking about? I know I'm not there, but Lauren cares.
B&E, like breaking and entering.
Breaking and
Oh. Got it.
I'm gonna stop you right there, Josie. Being part of the guild means you're not supposed to do some criminal ass shit.
But don't we murder people?
Right, but I mean, we don't murder people that we don't suspect anything of. And right now, this man's just he's kind of a corrupt like detective because he's trying to like put some away that he doesn't know for a fact has like killed all these women. But listen, if you want to come back after we find out that this guy like actually is like he could be the butcher, or a copycat butcher of some sort, yeah, we can do some breaking and entering. But until that time, let's keep looking for clues, all right?
If this was pre-recorded, this is where we would insert a montage of like players breaking a bunch of laws and doing crimes on missions.
I was gonna say, if Ariel heard this, I think she would need some alone time to grapple with that idea of like, we don't kill people unless we think they've done something. We don't really
Flashback to Malaprop the magician exploding in a ball of flame.
That was an accident.
Yeah. We did not kill him. He actually killed himself. He killed himself. That was not us.
Stop acting like the Adventurers Guild is all high and mighty. Look. I'm suspicious. I have a bad feeling in my gut about this guy.
I have a bad feeling about my gut about Matthew in that prison over there, but I'm not trying to kill him while he's surrounded by those guards now, am I?
Who said I was going to kill anybody? I'm not going to kill anybody.
You're talking about breaking laws. That's also a law being broken. Now, I'm not saying I have not done that in the past. Cut to Crick Stump.
Mushroom over here complaining about me breaking and entering.
Cut to Crick Stump like doing all this bad shit.
Yeah.
Real cut. But I'm just saying, like, hey, we got like 48 hours until this guy's got to be hanged. If you want to do some B&E tomorrow, you go for it. Just give us 24 hours, all right?
Okay, I'm holding you to it.
All right.
As we are walking away, Skamos will kind of like walk next to Hasan, and he'll say like, if we do indeed prove that this man is innocent of this murder, I think the detective may be a problem.
In what way?
Don't know to what extent, but he seems very much that he wishes to have this case.
I do worry about, as Ariel said, I've thought it too. I mean, I know that's someone horrible dying, but what does happen if someone else ends up killed the exact same way? I mean, that whoever did the second murder could still be out there, and it's just not going to solve their problems. And I know I won't be here to do anything about it. I know it's not my problem, but I can't help feeling terrible for everybody.
Yes, well, and the city is uneasy now, and very happy to see that the butcher is dying, and then another victim shows up. The fallout may be quite bad.
I also worry too, because then people won't be on their guards anymore, and just that next person will probably be so much easier to kill. And I have to stop thinking about it. It's going to make me sick.
Well, let's go talk to our delightful wife.
Yes, let's get that over with.
Technically, until he's dead, she's still his wife.
That's true.
Delightful man's wife.
Yeah, we get it.
Okay. Is there, you've got not like a long walk, but like half an hour up there. Anything any of you would like to be doing otherwise in this half an hour walk?
Making angry water sculptures.
Okay. Can you describe what an angry water sculpture looks like?
Yeah. Is it like a shark? You're making a shark?
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking it was more like little like flames, like water flames. She's
Okay.
picking up. And maybe she's like turning it into like ice and then letting them crack apart. And she is wrestling. She's not having it.
Yeah. It's like angry knitting.
Yeah, but like she still looks really like I think she's one of those people who like constantly has a smile on her face. So it's like
That's horrifying.
Got it. Bone chill.
I'd probably just keeping an eye out, and because I've have never been here before, what we see around on the streets as we walk, and anything notable. Just
go ahead and make a perception check.
yeah. Am I looking? Let's find out. 10.
I mean, you are seeing a lot of people as all of you kind of have this like struggle and turmoil within yourselves. What you're seeing are a lot of people enjoying a really beautiful day.
I feel so bad for them. Okay.
There's a lot of people just out in the streets. Like it almost was like a festival. Like merchants are out and carts and food and like just everybody's having just a killer time.
Choice of words, Paul.
Choice of words.
Yeah, maybe not that it's that important, but anyone who notices, Hasan looks like he hasn't really eaten in a while, which is unusual for him because normally in this situation, I'd be looking for bread, carbs to be specific. But I have not. Still got some dark circles under his eyes. He's just a very tired boy.
Yeah, you specifically walk by like a little bakery cart.
I don't even glance. Don't even give it a glance. Maybe I give it a glance. I give it a little glance, but I don't partake.
All right. Anybody else? Yes, Tyrion.
Yeah, so Tyrion is gonna walk up to Josie, and so I did I hear mention of a little B&E maybe later on?
Yeah, and I'm not talking about bacon or eggs.
Well, look, I'm just if you're looking for anyone to help you out on that, just let me know.
Gotcha. Strike at night.
I said
night,
20.
just in general.
I
would
said
say this
24, not 12 hours, guys.
This conversation is quite quiet, so I think you would you're going to be at the front, kind of leading things to let everybody get through.
Maybe we eat bacon and eggs, and then we'll do some
B&E and B&E.
Well, that sounds lovely.
There are worse nights you could have.
Yeah,
worse nights. All right. After about 30 minutes or so, you are making your way north. You skirt around the cemetery grounds and pass by a decently large church. And you are starting to make your way into a part of the city that looks markedly different. The houses are in much worse shape. And not even from like age. Like these just weren't built as well.
Are they the tan ones in the upper left or the brown
yes,
ones?
The tan ones in the upper left.
Okay.
They're not shacks, but they're not great. It looks like a really bad storm would wipe out like a quarter or more of these houses. And you eventually make your way to the house that the directions you've been given. This is the house of Matthew and Denise Yarnell.
Do we have a plan, or are we just like knocking and
You could have formulated
flying
a plan as you were starting to walk through these kinds of houses.
Are we flying by the seat of our pants, or they're not?
Who's doing the talking?
I don't want to. Ariel does not want to. Hasan is the most charismatic person.
True.
So that is
He's
why
gonna be
you should.
tired at the end of the day.
Scamos is also pretty charismatic. It's just about he tends
just
to
look
have a
funny.
visage that immediately makes him not as approachable.
We could take the front. We could take the front, but I think we can all go up together.
Yeah,
this
well,
time.
Ariel has a specific interest in her as a
Okay, great. Yeah.
lady, but she's also blue, so like maybe not. Maybe this should be like.
Scamos is also blue.
So
I know, but you're not. Scamos is not naturally blue, I will say, but like it's okay.
Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa.
well, hey,
Whoa!
Yeah,
Whoa!
I guess hers is too.
are we
Okay,
saying that he's also not naturally 16 years older than he was 2 days ago?
It's not
That
blue.
is-
This is I have to mention this because it's in my brain right now and it's so random. If makeup existed in this world, can you imagine going to the makeup store and there's just like every color of the rainbow of foundation? Because what if Scamos needs blue concealer? You know,
Yeah,
you gotta
true.
find the right shade of
Well,
blue.
who says makeup doesn't exist in this world?
It's gotta, and it's gotta have. So maybe it magically just goes to the color of your skin. You know.
I guess we've never established it before. Makeup certainly exists in this world.
I mean, yeah, and there.
Some of it
yeah,
might be more
does.
dangerous than your typical makeup in our world, but it definitely exists.
Wonderful. Sorry
Why-
about that
why,
rabbit trail.
Why is that, Paul?
Well, for similar reasons why ancient makeup, like
Oh.
Accent
go
your
way
features.
back. Yeah, like
Yeah.
there's a particular kind of like green makeup that was used in like the time of the Aztecs, I believe.
it's made out of like pure like minerals and stuff.
Yeah, it could definitely make
Yeah.
you blind.
And like coal for like black liner.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Mhm.
Or like,
Anyway.
the tan stuff when they like covered in that. Does anyone know that's right? Never mind. Don't worry about it.
We'll catch up on that
anyway,
later.
Yeah.
sorry. Okay.
So who is doing the talking then, as you start to walk up to the house?
I mean, I will if no one else wants to, just for the role's
Can we
sake.
try the zone of truth thing? Maybe. Come on. Please.
Open the door.
Well, like immediately?
It's like
Okay,
forced.
can we convince this person to do his zone of truth just so,
So-
we know?
So
I will
just
mention it if you really want me to. I will.
just so that you're aware, with Zone of Truth, anyone who is under its effects knows that they are under its effects. You cannot sneakily do Zone of Truth, because as soon as it happens, they know. And they are not compelled to tell... They are not compelled to answer your question. They just can't lie.
They just, yeah.
Just so you're
Unless
aware.
they save, and then they can.
But
Right.
how about that's our backup plan? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if we want something really interesting, I mean, I am possibly one of the least charismatic people in the group. I
If you just want to see pure chaos,
Just switch it up a
or
little
just
bit.
Yeah.
Just see how that goes.
I really want to get some information out of somebody somehow.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, realistically, due to the situation we are in, the very friendly female person may be an excellent person to get information.
She's not necessarily okay. I mean, we could try it, but she doesn't have
Well,
super high.
she
Oh,
should.
this metagram.
I feel like she'll
Okay,
want to
madam.
talk to us if she just wants to. I feel like she'll want to talk to us to tell us how horrible her husband is, like, and then
I mean-
we can do insight checks and stuff to see whether she's lying or not.
There is that.
So how are we approaching the door? Just have
All
six
together.
of us just stay
Yeah.
across the door. Awesome.
I
All
mean,
together?
Unless you
Okay.
don't want to. I don't care.
Okay,
That was
so
this to be
aggressive.
entertaining.
Just think about everything she's been through in the past couple.
Okay.
Weeks.
Then just that I
So-
don't care.
So what we know is Paul has stated in this role before that armed people, a group of armed people going to the door will not work, right?
It's going to be a little overwhelming.
Yeah.
Overwhelming.
For most people to open the door. It would be overwhelming for me, that's for sure. I don't want to open the door for anybody.
Heavily armed people standing at
When you put it in perspective like that, I get it. Now it makes a little more sense.
So while Hasan, our best talker, is talking to the person, can the rest of us be investigating the premises?
I think it might be best if we see just how far we can get with her before, right? Like, I think we really need to try and get on her good side.
I mean, you could probably do like a prelim, like just a poking around without drawing too much attention. You couldn't like get really heavy into it without looking suspicious, but you could like just walk around and kind of look at stuff.
I just don't want to piss her off before she'll even say hello.
There is that.
I feel like if that is going to happen and can't be persuaded otherwise, that needs to happen before I even knock on the door so that she's not aware it's happening.
Tyria would be willing to try to sneak around and see what she can find out.
I mean, Crick would do the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you start to get close, this is not a quiet area. You can hear, obviously some people are keeping like chickens or other kinds of small animals around their house. You can hear like voices, singing, yelling, all kinds of stuff. As you approach the Yarnell house, you can hear a cry that's probably like a small child, a small upset child is making some noise. It's a small one-story house. Yeah. It's a small one-story house. Nothing like alarming, just like...
No, I know, but it's like, does he have a kid? And that was never mentioned. So that's interesting.
Yeah, so it's a small one-story house, a wooden thatch roof, dirt, and some cobblestones like years ago, but mostly dirt around.
Would you like me to have a look around and see what I can find? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
I don't speak for the group, though.
Go ahead and make a stealth check, Atelier. And, we'll start there.
So it's 16 plus 7.
Okay.
23.
It's not even like you're sticking in the shadows. It's more just like you're super cash. Like, just keeping it cash.
So
Keep
cash.
it cash. All right.
And now go ahead and make... if you do investigation, you're getting a little more in-depth. If you want to keep it, like, very casual, I think perception is the better way to go.
Yeah, I'll stick with the perception then on that one.
So go ahead and make that perception check.
Perception, so 11 plus 5, so 16.
Okay, so you give a look around. There are no windows on the sides of the house, just a couple in the front and one in the back. Around the back, you do see that there is a small pen where it looks like there were chickens. There's like a bunch of hay around and a small chicken coop. Nothing there right now. There is a back door. You come back around. There's honestly not much to see. It is the small place.
Yeah, so I'll get back and I'll just relay that to everybody. Instead, they got a back door and a chicken coop with no chickens, so not much else going on here.
All right. Who's doing the talking again? Is it you, Ariel, or is it Hasan?
Ariel, do you want to go with us?
The two of you should go to the door.
Yeah. Do you want to come with me? Okay. We'll go up.
Okay.
I'm gonna guidance on Hasan.
All right.
And just kind of stick to the road.
Sounds good.
Okay.
So you approach the door.
And knock.
All right. You hear the the crying is starting to settle down a little bit, and you hear a voice, a feminine voice speaking on the other side. You can hear there's like someone making their way towards the door. It's just taking a minute. But after a minute, you see that a door opens, just not much, but a little bit. And you see a woman's face looking out. She says, yeah, hello?
I'm sorry. Hello, I'm so sorry to bother you. I was hoping I could have a moment of your time. My name's Hason. This is Ariel. We were hoping to ask you a few questions about your husband.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
I will say, we're pretty non-threatening
No,
looking.
it's true.
Maybe not the weapons, but like our faces.
I was thinking we should have gotten something from the bakery and brought it with us.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I rolled as low as I could roll, a 16.
Okay.
Wait, guidance. What does guidance do?
Adds a
A
D4,
D4?
correct?
That adds a
Great.
D4.
Great. That's wonderful. 30-20.
Okay. She looks a little concerned, but she does open the door, and you are looking at Tanise Yarnell. Tanise is a little about the same height as Hason, so like about 5'5" or so. She has dark skin, very simple clothing, like a simple dress, might be muslin or just a very simple fabric. As you look in, she's holding a child that looks a lot like her, also very simply dressed. You do notice that her left arm to the hand is in a cast. And she's holding the kid on her hip with her other arm. And she says, okay, what about my husband?
I look at Aria. I'm like, do you want to have woman to woman talk? I don't say that. I'm sorry. I'm laughing because I'm nervous and I feel so bad for her. Wait, go ahead.
Well, I don't think this is an appropriate conversation for the doorway. Would you mind if we just stepped inside and we can leave the door open if you feel more comfortable, but
we can also leave our things outside if you'd like.
Of course.
Make a persuasion check at disadvantage.
Hold on.
Could it not be a straight roll because I can assist my presence? Okay,
This is a request that's not easily granted.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, that's a 12.
She says, I think for now I'd be more comfortable with you out there. She turns to the child and she says, Matthew, go play. And she sets him down and he kind of toddles away towards the box in the living room.
Of course, no problem.
She says, okay, what's up? What's going on?
Well, this is a delicate subject, and my colleague and I are not from here, so please forgive us if we use the wrong language. We are adventurers, and we don't come across this type of situation very often. We had the very unfortunate circumstance of meeting your husband earlier today.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah, yes. And we are trying to get to the bottom of this case. And we are only interested in knowing the truth. And I know that you have chosen not to speak as to his whereabouts on the night of the murder. And we just hoped that we could talk to you a little bit more and understand what happened. Just between us, the police are not involved. We are trying to get justice and to prevent another murder from happening here.
And even if you can just tell us about your husband's personality, just, your experiences, we would just want to listen.
I married Matthew very young, and I've been with him for too long. When the police came and asked me where he was, on that night, I told them I didn't know where he was, because I don't. I don't know where he was that night. I wasn't here at home, so I guess he was out there doing that.
Dallas is nearby enough. Could you do an insight check on that?
Sure, you can hear the sound of her voice at least.
$15.
She sounds wavery. Is it because she's lying? Is it because this is just a very uncomfortable topic? You don't really know. It doesn't sound like the confidence of someone telling their truth to the world, but there could be a lot of reasons for that. She says, things are a lot harder with Matthew not here, but there are some things that are a lot easier, and my child and I are a lot safer.
Do I see, besides her broken arm, any other injuries on her? Bruises,
go
cuts,
ahead and make
wounds?
a medicine check.
You'd think as a healer I'd be better at these, but whatever. 18.
You can see most of her is covered. She's got a long dress on. So what is exposed to you is her head, part of her neck and chest, and her arms. But even from that, she has a lot of damage on her body. She has old scars that trail up one arm. You can see that several of her teeth are chipped, and one of them is just gone near the front.
Do I feel like casting Cure Wounds would help ease any of these? They're too old.
Yeah, those are all old scars.
I would like to cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay. The surface feeling that you get is like simmering panic.
Okay. 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 Thanks.
You're welcome. I mean, you can push with Detect Thoughts further if you want.
I know.
That is up to you.
She would make a save against my DC.
Correct. And would and at that point would possibly know that you've cast something.
Yeah. I'm gonna. Would I have to cast it again, or can I hold off on that for a bit?
Let me take a quick look. I feel like you can hold off, but
Like, because I don't want to do that if like Ariel's still, asking
Right.
questions and talking and stuff.
you have a minute.
Okay, great.
Could Ariel have like done an insight check for that response?
Sure.
Or
Yeah,
go
kind
for
of
it.
the same thing. Like when she was saying she doesn't know where he was or he wasn't home. That's all
Same
she
one that
knows.
Scott
Right.
did the inside.
Yeah.
well, that's not gonna do anything.
Nat 20.
Nat 20.
I got a
Okay.
So
And you got what? Was that, Ariel?
6.
6. Yeah, Ariel, this is just so deeply uncomfortable that, like, you're just having a lot of trouble getting a read. Hey, Son. She's lying. When she says that he was not there, that is not true. At least there is something about that is a lie.
Okay. Okay, this is out of character. The problem with all of this is we are getting the information that is exactly what we've assumed, like whether that's good or bad. Like I feel like I don't know about anyone else, but I think it's pretty clear that he's horrible. Of course she would lie about it because she wants him gone, and that's kind of what's being confirmed for me. So
Yep.
again,
Yeah,
this
that's-
information is, while it's not new, I'm not upset with it. It's just
And I think the simmering panic on Detect Thoughts is because she doesn't want him to come back because she knows, she knows that she said that he was not there. And that will have its own thing. The problem is
while we are good intent
the person who murdered this person.
Yeah, and while we have good intentions, probably hearing we only want the truth would make anyone nervous if they know they were lying. So, okay, great.
I can't imagine the incredible amount of pain that you've been in, and I shall leave now, but I would like to leave you with a small token for you and your young one. And she hands over 10 gold, and I don't know if she'll accept the money, but she'll like put it on the ground or put it on...
She does accept it, and she kind of stares at it.
Is that
you
enough?
sure-
Do you
that-
need
that's
more?
I don't. That's a lot. Are you sure? Are you sure?
There's no need to thank me. And I know what it's like to grow up. This is for your little Matthew, is that what you said?
Yes.
Be well.
Okay. She clutches it to herself.
Yeah, I can't do my push detect thoughts now. I would feel bad, so I'm not going to.
Okay.
Besides, she's just crying because we did a nice thing. So.
Does Hasan mention the fact that she was lying to Skamos?
Well, let me tell you, we thank her and walk away unless
So
Arya
before,
has more.
I guess before this conversation ends,
yeah,
I want to give an opportunity if anyone else has anything they want to bring up to her, or
Skamos wants to do something.
Break into her house. I don't know.
With Tessity before she leaves. It's Tessity, right?
Tanise.
Tanise. With Tanise before she leaves,
Close.
but only if he gets confirmation that she was lying about the situation.
Oh, but
Because he only knows that she was wavering. He didn't make the insight check that Hasan did.
I mean, I'm not gonna like shout that. I would come up to you, but to tell everyone that.
I mean, Skamos is already like thinking about it because he got something from what she was saying. So even if it was like a look that confirmed it.
I feel like unless someone else comes up while Hasan and Ariel are still there, she's going to close the door once Hasan and Ariel leave.
Okay. Then Skamos will just walk up.
Okay.
Not aggressively or anything like that.
All right. And Atelier, were you also wanting to?
Yeah. Ateria was gonna come up and ask a question.
Okay, let's start with Skamos, then we'll go to Atyrie.
Okay. So she's got the 10 gold.
She does.
Skamos will walk up to her, and he doesn't have the clarification yet. Can he like look to Hasan to like get confirmation because he was suspicious or whatnot? Or can he just read it for the situation? Can he do another insight as he's walking up?
Go ahead and do an insight check. I'm going to say that in order to read, I'm going to say that you're going to need a 19 to really get that information. Because that's a lot of information to get from no verbal.
A look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I didn't get it.
Okay. So you have your own suspicions.
Yeah, he has something he can specifically do that will be helpful, but he can only do it if he has information that she's lying. That's the thing.
Okay, well, that sounds like... Oh, no.
Yeah, I would say that you've got a suspicion, but you don't have a confirmation right now.
Okay. Well, he will walk up and he'll just be like, hello, my name's Skamos. We're all part of this group doing what we're doing. And he'll just be like, we do not know fully what your husband did, but I know that he is not the Butcher of Bolanthar. And he will give a coin to her that's like just like specific look to it, and he says, I cannot guarantee whether he will return to your house or not, but if you don't want to be here, you should present this to somebody that I know.
Oh, wow.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Can I?
16.
She takes the coin a little more tentatively. She says, I don't know that I understand.
If you wish to not be here, I can help.
She nods.
Out of character, as we discussed, out of play. Skamos has the background of smuggler, and he's specifically done smuggling runs through Bolanthar. That is why he is presenting this as an option.
He can be trusted.
She nods and looks a little more guarded, but she doesn't, flee or anything.
And he'll just like kind of like bow and step out.
Okay.
Back.
And Tyrie.
Well, geez, after hearing that, you look. Are you afraid of your husband coming back?
My husband has not done a kind thing for anyone in a long time. He can't come back.
But you would be afraid if he did.
Yes.
All right. So I want to know.
Who is it? Who is it that sent all of you?
The Adventurers Guild.
But I mean,
His lawyer.
Oh.
Lawyer. What's his lawyer's name?
Yeah.
Judah Ian Holder.
Judah.
Judah.
So
Again,
close.
So close.
So
I
close.
know. Apologies.
Why do you ask?
I mean, it's a lot of questions out of the blue.
Of course, and I am so sorry to add to your what seems to be already great trauma. Just one more question, if you wouldn't mind, and you can tell me no. You can tell us to leave, and we will.
No, okay.
Do you know this lawyer or anyone affiliated? It seems rather odd that he's taken on this case?
No, he came to the door, and I told him the same thing I told you.
Cool.
Thank you for your help.
Of course. No need to mention it. You, wait, we're not staying anywhere, are we?
You've not secured you've not secured an inn yet.
We got working. We don't need no time to sleep. We gotta go.
Even this morning.
Okay. Sorry, this is just me trying to think of a way to tell her how to get into contact with us, but I can't think of a way. So.
Scamos gave her the coin. So.
Okay.
I can I was saying I can message her, but just kidding. I have to be real close to do that. Just kidding.
Use the coin if you need anything else from us, please.
Hopefully in a couple days this will all be over.
Even if he's gone, there is another threat out there.
Oh. The threat at my door will be gone.
That is fair.
And she gives it a little bit of a nod and steps back and closes the door.
Great.
To the ghost tour. Woo!
On a ghost tour.
Wow.
So I assume you all go a little ways away from her house, unless there was something else you wanted to do at her house. Was there anything anyone else wanted? Okay.
Nope, sufficiently uncomfortable.
So you go a little ways away so that you can talk.
Mm-hmm. Well, how is everyone feeling about everything?
Do we tell we tell like the whole rundown,
Oh,
right?
I'll finally say it. She's absolutely lying about him not being home that night. I know. But I think we all are aware of that. And I think we all understand why. And I can't say I fault her for it.
No,
Yeah, she does not want him to return.
we can't let him be executed as the Butcher of Bolanthar either. We still have a murderer on the loose. As hard as that is.
Sure do.
Yeah.
So at this point,
Wow. We all have a lot to say.
yeah, there's a lot to take in. It's a lot to take in.
It's true. It's true. It's true.
At this point, those who are wanting to look into the ghost tour that have like information on the victims, perhaps now would be the time to start making your way back to the gallows. Who is not doing that? So I know Hayson is not doing that. Okay, so Crickstump is not doing that.
Yeah. There's no way, one, Crickstump would let me go alone, and two, that he has reasons to go to the university.
Yeah,
as well.
of course.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd like to think it's for my well-being, though, Zach. So.
It's not.
It's okay.
Scamos, you
I
said you
get
were
it.
going on the tour.
You'll do on the tour, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because he wanted to make sure that Hayson wasn't going on his own either. But if
Got
Hayson's
it.
going,
I would like to go on the tour too.
All right. I assume that so from my understanding, we've got Crickstump and Hayson are going to head to the university. In the meantime, Atirier, Scamos, Ariel, and Josie are going to go back to the gallows and go on the tour.
And before we split up, I'm gonna go to Crickstump and Hayson and ask if you get done before we're back, could you secure us some lodgings? I just realized that we don't have anywhere to sleep tonight.
Oh yeah, we'll find.
Yeah,
a
we can
spot.
do that.
Shoot. I just realized. Should we just meet you back where you guys are, or do you want?
Yeah, why not? Well, because the gallows is close to like the central market area, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We can meet there. Yeah, because I
Yeah.
feel like your tour will start and end at the same place, probably. So.
I would hope so. Yeah.
That's like seems like how a tour should work. So let's hope.
I definitely went on one that did not do that in
Oh,
New
okay.
Orleans. Our last stop
Okay.
was a bar that was like kind
So
of
far
a
away.
little far away from where we started. It was more a bar tour than a ghost tour. But anyway, okay. So as the party officially splits and goes in their separate directions, we will go ahead and go to a break. So we'll be back in just a couple minutes. All right, we are back. And before we dive back in, just want to make a quick moment to say we have merch now. We've got a little bit of merchandise that you could purchase for yourself. I am currently wearing this. This is the Thirsty Seahorse t-shirt. There's all kinds of different items. We've also got just our fabulous Adventurers Guild logo here, featured here on a sticker. So feel free. The link is in the description. I mean, not free. You do have to pay for it, but you know what I mean. Go, that supports us, supports the stream, helps us do more stuff, and is also just really cool. This shirt is very comfortable. I have a truly horrendous sunburn, and it doesn't feel bad at all.
There you go.
It's great.
I can't say much more further than that. Okay, so as we get back into it, our group that is headed to the ghost tour, is there anything that you would like to be doing on your way there? You've got a good walk kind of across the city to get there.
It's here I'd like to talk with maybe Scamos a little bit, because he seems to have a lot of knowledge and insight into all this that Terry is kind of curious about.
Okay.
So you've come across these types of murders before, or been in the area?
Well, not per se. About a year and a half back, Hasan and I were on a mission with the Adventurers Guild, and we found the real Butcher of Bolanthar and all of his tales and whatnot of the murders that he committed then. So certainly not been right here with it. Shortly after that case, one of our other compatriots and I came here to see if we could get more information, but we're not very successful. Hopefully Hasan may get some more information over at the university, because that's where the original butcher went. So.
Whatever happened to the original butcher?
Oh, he got killed by ghosts.
Oh, and we're about to go on the ghost tour. I feel good about this. This is gonna be good.
It should be great. I have a really mixed history with ghosts, so it'll be interesting.
All right. Okay.
Yep. I don't necessarily recommend goading them. It can work sometimes, and sometimes not so much. Quickstomp would tell you more about that one, but
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'll watch myself.
So, quick question for you guys, right? The leading theory is that the guy that we are supposed to be, I guess, proving innocent, didn't murder those people.
He did not.
But he's a wife beater.
Yes.
And we think that his wife and the officer are in on the fact that he is a wife beater, so it is good that he is in jail, and therefore don't poke into this murder.
I would say the wife just would be okay with him being dead because he's a terrible person. The detective wants the Butcher of Bolanthar done with because he has had no proof that it ever was. I believe the detective entirely will just take anything to do this, just to hang somebody, to put the case to rest, who is a bad person and would not have evidence in his favor. So there is that.
I think it kind of rests on, I guess, the ghost, or not the ghost, but the murdered woman.
This currently murdered woman is kind of our most interesting piece of information because anything about it would give us something related to it. Apparently she was killed very similar to the way that all of the butcher's other victims were, which shows the sign of a copycat or an enthusiast of the butcher's work. So
Nicole, question, do we know her name?
You do not. You have not been given her name.
Can we find that out?
Go ahead and make. I mean, You could probably surmise that that information would be available on the tour. If you wanted it ahead of time, you could make an investigation check to see if you find like a newspaper or something like that.
Sure. Investigation. Just some news. +1. That is a 6 + 1. 7.
Yeah, you don't come across anything on the walk that gives you that information. But after, right around sunset, you make it back to the gallows. And you can see that there's like a small handful of people here who you could guess are probably also going on the tour. They're kind of milling around, looking around for something. And just about like almost right on time. Couple minutes pass, but almost on time, which is pretty good for any kind of organized event. A wagon pulls up, and this is an open top like cart. Looks, from what you can see as it comes up, it looks like it has like a couple comfortable benches along the side, so not the worst. There is an older human male driving, a couple of horses in front, but right behind him, facing back towards the back of the cart, are 2 female gnomes. One is in a like black pantsuit. The other is in a very brightly colored dress. And the one in the dress stands up and says, "What's up, everybody? Ready to go ghosting?"
Absolutely.
I just love your dress. It's so beautiful.
Thank you. It has pockets. And she puts her hands in her pockets.
Excuse me. Are we allowed to touch the ghost? Can you touch the ghost? What does it feel like?
The one in black says, "I wouldn't suggest it. Not that I've touched a ghost, but I feel like if a ghost had a reason to touch you, it would be a bad one. So don't."
Can I sit next to you? I would love to just sit right next to you.
Well, that's sweet. But come on board. We've got these benches on the sides. That's where you all will be sitting. It's like it's kind of set up like a hay cart, like a hay ride, where there's benches on the sides that face the middle, and then they are on their own bench, like up in the back.
Well, I'll just sit in the right next to where they are.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check just to see how to see if they're
like
down.
if it's a good thing or a bad
proximity
thing.
bench.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Got you. Gosh, dang it. That's another one.
So the one in the green dress looks a little weirded out by you, but like not terribly. Does her best to be professional about it. And she says, welcome to the Morbid Fantastical Murders tour. Tonight we are focusing in on the Butcher of Bolanthar. And some people clap. And she says, I know it's weird to clap. We're not clapping for murderers. We're clapping for, telling the stories. The other one is getting out bottles of wine. Now make sure that we need 1 gold from each of you. So whoever, I assume you all pay for yourselves. So mark off a gold on your sheet. And as you give your gold, you are given a glass. And it is filled, not like a lot, but you get like an okay pour of red wine. And the one in green says, I am Corinna, this is Georgianne, and we are so excited to have you. We're going to be taking you all around the city, around the canals and the lake, and we're going to look at the places where some of these horrible things happened. So we're going to stay inside the carts. If something spooky happens, don't feel like you need to run out and greet it. Not what I would advise. Is anyone not taking a tour with us before? Oh, wow. Okay. It's all the other people do not raise their hands. In total, there's about 10 of you. And the one in the black pantsuit goes, okay, so for those who have not taken a tour with us, I just got to go over a couple of things. We are very compassionate about the things that have happened. But the way that we process things is through humor. So we laugh with each other, we enjoy ourselves, but we are talking about really serious topics, and once in a while we do crack a joke. And if you can't handle that, then just go fuck yourselves. With that being said, let's start the tour. And the wagon takes off.
Gallows is sitting next to a Tyria and just be like, I like her.
Wait, can I see where the wine is that they had, that they gave us little chintzy pours of?
Yeah, it's on the bench with them. They've got like a little spot for it over there.
Would I be able to roll a sleight of hand, see if I can snag that bottle?
Sure. I will say, before you do that, go ahead and make a perception check just to see if you've got the leeway to do that.
All right, that's fair.
Also, Ariel does not drink, so she would be offering her glass to anyone.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Eteria would definitely be taking that. It's 19 plus 5, so 24.
You feel like it's like a tightly packed cart, and they're sitting right next to the wine. It would be pretty difficult.
Okay.
But you feel like your 1 gold gets, you'll get a refill or two, which is probably better than being thrown out of the tour.
Okay, fair enough. I'll just turn to Ariel and just take the glass when they offer it to you, and then I'll take it from you.
And the cart goes for a little bit, and the one in green gives you kind of a rundown of the general like Butcher of Bolanthar like mythology, mythos. From what we can tell, especially because of the arrest, it was a man who targeted women in their 20s and 30s, almost entirely human women. Many of them, though not all of them, were sex workers, and he got the name the Butcher because of the state of the bodies. They were cut up. It varied based on the case. Some of them were disassembled. Some of them were just cut into fairly dramatically. But all of them did have cuts across the body. And the cart pulls up near the canal. And the one in green says, all of the bodies were found in water. Some of them had gone out to the lake. Some of them had been caught up in the locks in the canal or had been pushed ashore. But every single one was found in the water. So it seems that was his method of disposal. And the cart stops. And she says, this is the site of the first victim. And that was Emily X. We don't know Emily's last name. Emily was just a name on a piece of paper that was found in her pocket. This seemed like something early. the patterns that would develop later on weren't so present here. There were cuts, but they weren't deep. It didn't seem like he spent a lot of time with this victim. Maybe he was just in a rush, or maybe he just hadn't really gotten into his groove yet. But this is where the first body was found. And at this point, there was really no indication that there was a serial killer at all. It's a large city and murders happen, but a pattern would soon emerge. And the cart continues along. With that, we will cut to the university. Hasan and Crickstump, you make your way over to the university district, and as you are going from west to east across the city, you can feel the money starting to increase. Like, the houses are nicer, things are getting a little better, and by the time you get right around the university, like, these are big houses, these are very nicely built, and then the university itself is an absolutely gorgeous building. The architecture is complicated, and there are like spirals and all kinds of things going on. It's just a gorgeous building, especially near dusk. Tell me about your plan here at the university.
Well, my plan is to, I don't know what, Crickstump's thing is, but
I'm,
for me,
I'm hanging with you, but I'm also gonna try and check in.
For Hasan, he's just going to ask for information about Alexander. He's not sure how that's going to go, if he's prepared for them to be not forthcoming with it just due to confidentiality. He is prepared to lie, which is strange for him, but this is sort of what he's most interested in getting information on. So I think he's at a point that he will, if he has to.
Okay.
So he kind of has a plan. If he's guessing that, they're not going to be forthcoming with information to someone who's just a stranger to Alexander. So he's prepared to bluff a little, in hopes of talking to a headmaster, a teacher, anyone who would have record on classes, where he stayed, that kind of stuff.
All right.
Who he knew.
Yeah.
Who he knew, who his friends were, what his hobbies were, literally anything.
So you start, you enter the university. It is past when most of the classes are already done for the day, but there are still people in here.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make for me 2 investigation checks and 2 persuasion checks. We'll take those one at a time.
Am I helping with that at all?
You can help. So go ahead and we'll do all those at advantage. So the first investigation check.
Okay. I love advantage. That's a 23. I've made that face because my investigation is higher than I thought it was, and I think I've been looking at the wrong stat when I've done it before.
All right.
Were you looking at intimidation?
I think I've been looking at insight. I don't know. I don't know.
So go ahead and make your second one.
Second investigation.
Yeah.
Okay. Nat 20.
Okay. Hit the button for that one. All right. Yay! Go ahead and make your persuasion checks.
Uh, 22.
Okay.
Seems low for you.
That was also. Stop it. Hey, I'm just glad I'm doing things that I'm good at.
I know.
Not like in combat or something.
Yet.
And then the second one's a nat 20 again.
Wow.
All right.
We're gonna go out with a bang. That's all I have to say about that. That's all.
You got to
Okay.
balance out the 2 nat ones that I rolled earlier.
Well, the first persuasion was since it was at advantage. The first one was a nat one, so I'm glad that wasn't one of them. That would have been horrible.
All right. So you two, so it's about 5:30 when you get there. And
Okay.
you search around for the next, 40 minutes or so. There are a lot of rooms, a lot of common areas, a lot of classrooms. And after 40 minutes, you walk into a classroom, and it looks like that it's just the professor there.
Okay.
He is probably in his, if he was human, 20s or early 30s maybe. Looks to be half elf. He's got short hair, and you can see a bit of a point in his ears.
Okay.
There is a tiny little dragon familiar that's kind of settling in nearby on his lectern, and he is using a probably prestidigitation to wipe away a chalkboard.
Wow.
Oh, my heart is so full right now.
It feels so cool to be here.
So yeah, he doesn't. We'll see if he. No, he doesn't hear you as you enter. He's kind of just humming a little tunelessly to himself.
Sorry, question. Is it we just stumbled upon this on as we were wandering
You can kind of poking your head in all the rooms.
to find somebody to talk
Yeah,
to kind of thing?
You've
Oh,
asked
okay.
a few people. Haven't gotten a
Uh-huh.
lot of a lot of people are open to talking to you, but don't know who Alexander Lane is.
Oh, got it. Okay, that's great.
Got it.
But here's where your great rolls have led you.
Yay! Great. Sounds great.
We're
I
gonna
guess
get a
sorry.
dragon familiar.
You wish. I guess as we come in, I kind of knock on the door frame to alert him that we're here, that someone's entered.
I'm sorry. If you're wanting to sit in on the class, it's already ended. Sorry about that.
No.
Oh,
No.
no, we are not here for that actually, but nice classroom.
Thank you. What can I help you with?
Well, we actually had some questions for you. We've been asking around, and it seems like you're probably the closest one that we could talk to about some stuff.
I'm sorry. My name is Professor Rickton, Adam Rickton. Who are you?
My name's Hassan. This is Crickstone.
I'm Crickstone McGraw.
A pleasure to meet you both. What questions did you have?
Did you ever have a student named Alexander Lehane?
You see, just immediately his face changes. Does not have a poker face about it, and he says, "Yes, I know or knew Alexander. Yes."
Oh, well, I was hoping we could talk to you about him.
Are you friends of his?
Yes.
Is something happened to him? Is he all right?
Oh, I'm afraid he's passed away, actually.
Oh.
About a year ago.
Oh, okay.
I was close to him, but didn't know him very well, and I wish I would have. So I came here in hopes that I could talk to someone who knew him, to sort of learn more about him.
Yes, he and I roomed together while he was here. My.
Is now a good time? I'm sorry if we
yes, it's
you.
It's fine. Give me a moment to pack up here, and yes, I'd be fine talking about it.
All right.
And he finishes wiping up the board, And with that, we will go ahead and cut back to our tour. So at this point, you have been on the tour for about 45 minutes or so. Those of you who are drinking have had your glasses refilled, with your reasonable pours several times now. You feel like you've gone about through 2/3 of the tour, and this has just been a litany of horror that, there are 20 different victims, and you've heard about 15 of them and where they were found. And it is unsettling, to say the least. Some of these spots that you've driven by have had little makeshift memorials on the bank of the canal. Some of them have had nothing. Some of these women, you've learned, had family and friends and people who remembered them. Some of them were remembered by no one, and several of them are completely nameless. After the first one, none of them were found with clothing. All of them were, quite mutilated. I would imagine, for anyone who's not strong in constitution, that the wine is definitely helping take the edge off listening to all of this. And Corinia says, the one in black, she says, "Now, we're going to go near, but not to the next spot. This will be rounding about to the end of this part of the tour. This is the spot of the last victim. She was found up in the King's Meadow and Forest, up north of the castle, and you're going around the moat at this point. That is a spot that's off limits to us after dark, as I imagine most of you know. But we will go near there, and I will say, we've taken a couple other tours around there, and some people have had experiences. Some people have heard things or seen lights or shadows where they shouldn't be. This is an area that seems to be very active, apparently. I don't want to influence you, but I will say that this is a spot to be cautious with yourself, to guard your mind and make sure you're not inviting anything in that shouldn't be there. Yes. Yeah, Josie. You're still muted.
Can I cast protection from evil and good on myself?
You certainly can.
Solid.
Let me just look up what that says. Protection from good and evil. So that
grants you several benefits. Creatures of those types have disadvantage on attack rolls against the target. The target also can't be charmed, frightened, possessed by them. If the target is already charmed or frightened or possessed by such a creature, the target has advantage on any new saving throws against the relevant effects.
perfect.
That is an excellent thing to have.
Sure is. So as you come around the moat, everyone go to make a perception check who's on this tour right now. Skamos, what'd you get?
7.
Eterie?
17.
Ariel?
6.
Okay. Josie?
I gotta stop using this die.
Was that an 8?
18.
18. Okay. Eterie and Josie, both of you, you feel the little hairs in the back of your neck start to rise up. You can feel, like, uncomfortable. You know, like that kind of pit of the stomach feeling, like anticipation of dread. And both of you hear a whisper, and it's so low that you cannot discern what it says. You can just discern well enough to hear like it's a whisper, but it almost sounds like somebody rubbing their fingers together near your ear. It's just like it's some kind of intentional sound, but you can't quite pick up on it. And I'll see if Corinna and Georgianne notice. They do not. And as the cart continues around the moat, this feeling and this sound get a little more intense for both of you.
And this sound is something that is at least noticeable, that it's not just like a bug flying by my ear.
This is not a bug. This is not the wind. This is
Okay.
something outside of that.
Okay.
And yes, Josie.
Can I make a religion check to see what's going on?
You can. Absolutely.
Situation of this area.
Yeah.
Just to clarify again from what we've heard, this body was not found by water, was the only difference, right?
This body was, they explained this body was found at the edge of the moat.
Edge of the moat, okay.
Yeah, so this was similar to the rest in that regard. What'd you get for that religion check, Josie?
16.
Okay. You don't get like a big sense of evil here, but there is definitely something. There is some presence here. It doesn't like strike you as like a demon or anything like that, but there is definitely a presence here. You can feel a bit of weight kind of pressing down on you. Not seriously, just like a little bit of pressure, on your shoulders, that little bit of something in your ear. As you as it gets closer, you're kind of nearing an area where there is a fence. You can tell that this is where it's going to stop. All of you go ahead and roll another perception check. Atirier and Josie, that's at advantage.
Build for that.
Skamos, what'd you get?
Now, Skavos is going to use Tides Chaos this one.
Okay.
Same thing again. So. It's an 8.
8, okay.
Better than a 7.
Yeah, Atirier.
11.
11, okay. Ariel?
4.
4. We went down a little bit. Josie?
Natural 20.
Okay. So Atirier, it just kind of stays that same little bit of buzzing. Skamos and Ariel, nothing. You're just enjoying. Everybody else is having a really good time drinking and enjoying it's a beautiful night, and you are the same. Josie, you smell it's a very complex combination of smells. There's definitely a floral scent like roses, but there's also a very earthy, like dark smell, and underneath all that is this very sickly sweet smell of death and decay. And as you breathe it in, you can feel kind of distinctly something like a hand pressing against your chest. And you hear your first distinct word in your ear. Just this pained whisper of, "Why?" And with that, we will go back to the university. Hassan and Crickstump,
That is us.
you are now walking out of the university with Adam. He's got his dragon familiar perched up on his shoulder.
It's no bigger than like a little wormling, is it?
It's like the size of a decent sized cat.
Yeah.
Love it. Wow.
It's mostly like bronze in color, like bronze and green. And he says, well, I will admit, I think the last thing I was ever expecting is someone to come here asking about Alexander.
Why is that?
Well, he kept to himself at the university. I don't know that he was really friendly with many people. He wasn't a bad student or anything like that. He did as well as I did. We often studied together. But he just wasn't terribly warm. I think he was quite guarded in a lot of things. He was, sometimes a hard person to read. Anyway, I if you'd like, you are welcome to come back to my house. I actually have. When he left a small handful of things.
Yes, that would be. Yes, please. If we could.
I was keeping them for him, I guess, on the chance that he'd come back for them, but I suppose that's not happening.
Why did he leave them at all?
He left in some haste. I don't think he intended to leave any of these things. They're just odds and ends.
How long ago did he take off around here?
So right now it is like late spring. That mission at Alexander Lahane's house happened this previous fall, and he had left like that summer.
Okay.
So not quite a year ago. Anyway, here's my house. It's not much, but he opens the door and it's. He says it's not much. The last place you walked, you saw the Arnell's house. This is infinitely nicer than that in every possible way. Yeah, it's like a small 2-bedroom house, but it's quite nice.
Okay.
He lifts up an arm and his dragon familiar goes up to a little perch in the kitchen. And he says, "Would you care for some tea or anything like that?"
Sure, only if you were going to have some. You don't need to do anything extra on our account.
Oh, no, not a problem. Not a problem. He sets a pot to boil and.
I do want to ask, what exactly was Alexander studying while he was here?
We were in the same kind of field. We were both studying necromancy.
That's odd. I had asked him if he knew any magic, and he said no.
Like I said, he was guarded. He had a very thick shell. Difficult to get through it, to get to know who he really was.
But you would consider yourselves friends?
I had certainly considered that, yes.
Can I do an insight check on that?
Yeah, you sure can.
I feel like there's something to the way he said that.
What
That's
was
bad.
that? Was that a bad roll?
Yeah, it's an 8.
Okay.
Well,
Gosh, dang it.
luckily for you, I also made an insight check.
What'd you roll?
Good.
I rolled an average 20.
An average
An
20.
average 20.
A regular 20.
A normal one.
Yeah, not a nat, it's just an average 20.
Yeah, hey, Son, I mean, you can have your, like, there's something there. Crickstump, there is... This is the face of someone who has just lost someone that he might have loved.
Damn it. Ah! Okay, I don't know that though. That's
Yep.
fine. I'm fine. It's okay.
The tea, the kettle boils and he pours some cups and sets them down. How did you know Alexander?
Oh, he asked us to come assist him with some things at his family home last year. That's how I met him. Cricksum never met him.
No, but I heard stories about him.
Do you know? Do you know how he passed?
There was a fire. It was rather tragic.
Oh God.
And that's part of the reason, I came looking for anything that might have been his, because everything was lost. I mean, there wasn't anything to be found.
Certainly. Yes. Please enjoy your tea. I just have to go get I'll put his things in a box, keeping them together. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'm just gonna put my hand over Hason's tea, just like, nah.
Don't drink the tea? Are you telling me not to drink the tea?
No. Hason, this professor might have been in kind of the same boat you were. I got a good feeling that he was in love with Alexander, and if somehow he was in, I hate to say it, but cahoots with him. I know. I'm just being on guard. All right.
All right. Well, that's just great.
After just a couple of minutes, like not long, he comes back with just a small wooden box. It's not much. And he sets it on the table, just sets it, and well, that's all of it. I honestly haven't really looked through it except to put it in the box. I didn't want to intrude, I guess.
May we?
It's not going to bother you if we look
No,
at this?
it's fine. It's fine. Yeah.
Oh.
Open
it up.
I take the box. Thank you.
It's in the box, Hason.
It's an open. It's like a crate style box.
Okay.
So it's got an open top.
I set it on my lap and I start looking through things gingerly, gently, with much care.
So you start picking through things. There is like a discarded tunic, shirt. There is a couple of books that look like textbooks. For the university for his studies. You get some like pens and a notebook that has a lot of the pages ripped out. And inside the notebook, you see a key. Like a very hefty steel key.
I hold it up. I say, this seems odd. Do you know what this might be?
May I see it?
Yes.
He takes a look at it and he says, think I might. I mean, I don't know what it means, but I think I might know what it is.
Oh,
Here, and he hands the key back to you and he says, just a moment, I have to go find something. And he goes in the next room, searches around. You can hear him kind of looking through drawers and whatnot. And he comes back, holding a key. And he says, let me see that one again. And he holds the key that you've got up to the key that he has. And the ends, which are quite decorative, like the handle part, match.
yeah.
And he says, well, that, I don't know what exactly that means, but, when my mother died, she had a place for her ashes in the mausoleum, in the cemetery. And I was given this key to place them there. And I suppose if I wanted to go, like, visit, I could do so, but I've not. So I would assume that there's some lock in the mausoleum that key would fit.
So, so the key you have would just be to get, go visit?
Just the space for my own mother's ashes, yes. It's, my mother purchased that space.
Right. And so this key is essentially the same place?
Yeah, there's a lot
Kinda.
of doors, a lot of places for things. And you can see that there is, like, faintly etched in there, like a little number, and his has one as well. And he says, I suppose there's a door for that. I can't imagine what would be on the other side, though.
Would you mind if we hung on to that? Maybe we'd just go pay our respects later to his, his family as well.
If he puts his own key away, and he says, whatever's in the box is no longer mine. Probably best that I let go of it completely.
I mean, I don't need any of it if you want it.
No, please. I would feel much more comfortable not having it around now.
Okay. It feels like you were close to him, even if he did not consider himself close to you.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check with advantage.
$23.
He takes a sip of his tea, and he says, Alexander was a very complicated person. Everyone is complicated, I suppose, but he, more than most, he had such pain inside him, such terrible pain, and he was so cautious of letting anyone see that.
Did you ever ask why he might be feeling these things?
I know why he was. And he endured a lot of abuse from his father.
From his family.
Yes. And he could never really process that. It ate at him, and he never felt like he could really truly let it go to someone else to open himself up like that. I'm glad that I knew him for the time that I did.
How long did you know him?
We roomed together for a year. Here, actually. But I suppose everything ends, doesn't it? And I was not expecting him to end so soon, but we do not have control over such things.
I'm sorry if the news was rather sudden, out of nowhere. I'm surprised you didn't, I don't know, hear anything.
I had not. I think it hurts right now, but I think ultimately it's for the best. It is not healthy to hang on to anything past its due, whether that's things or people.
But
Yes.
yeah, we are sorry for your loss. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. This is definitely not on the subject that we were talking about, but
By the way,
I have to ask you're a professor at the academy, yes?
Yes.
Are you happen to be teaching a young wood elf named Missy McGraw?
oh, Missy! That's so cute.
He furrows his brow and he says, "No, this year I'm teaching all the first year students."
Well, yeah, No, don't worry about it. I haven't quite. She's a student there, and I'm just trying to, I'm never in town, so I might as well, visit her once I am.
Well, I hope you find her.
Yeah, I'm sure I will. It's fine.
Could you point us in the direction of these mausoleums?
So you actually walked by it on the way
did. Great.
Yeah.
to the Arnell house. So you know exactly where the building is.
Okay. But before we go, Heisan goes over to him and places a hand on his arm and says, I know what it feels like to care about someone deeply and then find out you're the only one who really feels that way. I'm sorry that there wasn't a happier ending, but I'm starting to maybe think that not all of us are given that in this life, even if we want it so desperately.
He smiles a little sadly and he says, Alexander was easy to love, but very hard to know. But life is long, and I think there are happier endings for all of us.
I hope so. And if you ever need anything, you can give the Adventurers Guild a call. I can't say if I'll be there, but they are good people who will help you if you ever need anything.
I appreciate it. And with that, we're going to cut over to the ghost tour. The cart stops right near the fence, and Karinia and Georgianne talk a little bit about this case. This one was found just like the others, right at the edge of the water. A lot of cuts, more superficial ones. Maybe he was in a rush or interrupted, but a lot of abuse, just like the others. And though there is so much pain and so much horror in the case of the butcher, hopefully we're now going to get some closure. And a couple of the other people on the tour give a hoot and a holler and a little bit of clapping. And Georgianne says, that guy's gonna hang in 2 days, and I don't know about you, but I don't know if I'll watch it, but I'm definitely gonna buy a very nice bottle of champagne to celebrate that shit when it's all done. And some more clapping and hooting and hollering from the other guests. Yes, Atirier.
So, does Ateria notice her companions not hearing the sound, or her other companion like this thing happening?
Go ahead and make an insight check.
15.
You can see that Skamos and Ariel do not seem to be affected by this, and you can tell that Josie is. There's a lot going on over there. You're not sure exactly what, but like there's some stuff going on with Josie.
With that, then I tap on both their shoulders and like, the two of you, you don't hear that noise, do you?
What noise?
It's like a whisper almost.
The tour guide. Oh.
No, it's something different, something out there, and Josie's not looking too great over there. By the way,
My Josie's senses are tingling. I get off the cart.
All right, you just straight up get off.
Yep.
Carinia says, "We got this. Isn't a walking tour. Everybody's got. I mean, we're supposed to stay in the cart."
I throw a piece of gold. Is it a walking tour now?
I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, it's it's a free city.
Thought so. Stay here. Ichiri, are you coming?
Yeah, Atiri's gonna follow.
So Tyria hops off.
Because we've just been alerted, can we come or no?
Oh, I mean, yeah. Like your two compatriots just hopped off the cart. Like
Ariel is gonna go. I mean,
it's not that big a cart. As you all bail off of the cart, the gnomes just kind of look at each other and say, "You can." As you guys are kind of walking away, you can hear, "Well, I guess there's more wine to go around. We'll toast the end of the butcher." And some more clapping happens. The four of you are just outside of a fence. And as you are kind of getting away, you can hear the cart is starting to make its way.
I said don't go.
They're going.
I gave them gold. I guess they're gonna go.
Got gold now, so.
Cool.
You are at the fence, and you can see. So if you're looking at the map, this is north of the castle, that really big forested area. You can see there's a pretty dense forest beyond this fence, and everyone go ahead and make another perception check. Everyone besides Josie, you don't need to make one. But the other three of you make one.
Perception?
Yes.
13.
8.
I got a natural 20.
Hey!
Finally.
Skamos, Josie, and Ariel, you all hear this, like, whimper. Like, just this soft whimper from deeper in the forest. And Ariel, you see just a faint light, just for a moment, behind a tree and disappear.
Scowls will turn to the three and be like, okay, so raise your hands. How many here have interacted with ghosts? Like, mano a mano. Nope.
No.
Ariel? No. Alright. Josie, you've duked it out with some ghosts?
I try my best. I know my way around a ghost repellent or two. I'm flexible like that.
Alright. Okay, well, the two of you, be on your guard. I'd rather not have to be forced to kill one of you tonight, that would be nice.
Well, did you bring your garlic?
What ghosts have you interacted with, Josie?
The garlic. See? That's...
The garlic ghosts.
I take a piece of garlic and I go, you spray it all over yourself. And that's what you call protection from evil and good, right? Your garlic. Rookies. I continue on.
Or... As Josie continues on, just also like look through it to be like, I wouldn't trust everything that Josie says about ghosts.
Justin realizes that I am wrong. Josie does not. But
No, I love it.
Works.
I love it.
Oh, I love it. I think it's great.
It affects ghosts with like stomach sensitivities.
Hey, I have protection, so
If there are any vampires around, they're
That
freaked
part's
out.
valid. But yeah, so you'll be like, I wouldn't trust everything that Josie says. Just be really careful, especially.
Okay, don't believe me.
If this is our lady. She may be really angry and may lash out. So let's just be careful.
So we don't need the
Ariel.
garlic thing.
Oh no, I think the garlic thing works just for Josie. I don't have the garlic thing.
Because I don't have any, so I just...
Yeah, no, garlic normally does not. I think Josie has some weird garlic that's different. But
So
garlic
ghost
A
garlic.
particular variety. Ariel.
Ariel, Garlic. I just called her Arlic because you're jeez Louise. Ariel walks towards where she saw the light. She's kind of given up on
Yeah.
whatever's happening.
So you do that, you have to hop the fence.
Okay.
So it's like just like light rule breaking there.
Okay, fine.
So you
cut the fence.
So Ariel hops the fence. Do the rest of you follow?
Oh, absolutely.
Yep, 100%.
I'm already gone.
Yeah. So you all are on the other side of the fence in this forest, and for the first time all day, it does not feel like you're in a city. You are quickly like enveloped by this forest, and it feels like you're just in the middle of the woods. And all of you now can feel a weight. Like, as you breathe, it feels like there's a pressure on your chest, like pushing against that breath. And just all of your senses are like blaring that something is wrong. And then there is a moment of quiet. The wind dies down. The insects stop. Just silence. And then a wail, this horrible, pained cry from all around you as a spirit begins to manifest. And with that, we will go to join Crickstump and Hayson. You have again crossed the city. Unknowingly passed not too far away from the rest of your party to get there. And you find yourselves at this large marble building that stands at the edge of the cemetery.
It's like as we're walking up, yeah, I know he wasn't her professor, but doesn't mean he didn't know her. Like, I had to check, you know?
Oh, of course. And we will not leave this city until you get to see your sister.
Okay, thank you. I'm just saying, like, yes, we're on a mission, but also family is family. You got it, right? Okay.
I mean, I don't have any, but I understand.
Okay.
So, yes.
Yes. Well, yeah. Just.
So there is.
I am an only child.
So here there is no one around. It is very
Wonderful.
quiet. It is fully nighttime now, and this is a building that is open to the public and does not close. So it is the large outside doors are unlocked. And as you head inside, you see the place is lit with lanterns, quite a few, like down this huge open hallway, like just this big cavernous space.
Yeah.
So quiet, so still, so echoey. Every footstep just like reverberates and reverberates. And you can see that along the walls are all these doors. These doors with little keyholes in them.
Did you say the keys are numbered?
Yeah.
There is
the
a number on
ours?
the key. Yeah. You
We
like
look
this-
for that door.
Yeah, you find 111 is what's on the key. These doors are of varying sizes. Some of them are quite small. Some of them are a little taller. They're not really uniform. And as you go down, you do find more than halfway down the hallway a door marked 111. And this one is about 4.5 feet tall, not quite shoulder width.
Okay. I like start to put the
I'm gonna.
key in, but I'm like shaking, and
I'm
he
gonna-
like
I'm gonna-
struggles.
You know what? I'm gonna check for traps real quick.
Sure.
You should do that, and that's
I think
so
it's
smart.
probably smart knowing who.
I think
we're
it's
dealing
safe, but I think it's a good idea. Why not?
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Yeah, you got it.
Oh, and wait, before I open the door, can I cast Identify on the key?
You could do that on the way over. This key is
Great.
not magical.
Great, good to know. I'm happy about that.
Investigation.
Yeah.
17.
The door is not trapped.
Okay,
Great.
good enough. Go ahead.
And as I'm opening it, I turn to Crixum and I whisper, because it's really echoey. I'm actually a little bit nervous, and I don't really know why.
Okay. And just even that whisper, like you hear the s and the y kind of echo around and back to you.
I don't like echoey spaces.
Chris,
I put the
Chris doesn't even try and quiet his voice. He's like, oh, I know why. We know who he was.
Okay.
Like, oh.
And that sound is like maddening. Like it is so loud.
I'll smack you. I put the key in eventually successfully. I turned it and I
Okay. So as
know
you,
there's nothing in there. There's gonna be like ashes or something.
you insert the key, turn it, and are able to pull the door open with the key embedded.
Okay.
And as you open it, there's this little of stale,
Ew,
wretched air that hits
Gross.
you.
Nasty. I should have
And-
expected that.
Like it hits your tongue. It's just bitter and really awful. And it takes a second for your eyes to adjust to what you're looking at inside. What's in here is not
I'm scared.
a space to put something, but someone has dug through, and what you see are rough-hewn steps that lead down. And that is where we'll end tonight's session.
Stop it! We found the secret go to kill hidey hole.
All right.
A secret kill hidey hole.
Good job, everyone. A lot of stress there. We're going to go ahead and see
Freaky.
what happens with all this in the next episode. And I'm going to go ahead and talk to the folks at home.
Bye, folks.
Well, that was quite an adventure. And it looks like we are working our way perhaps towards some answers. What will those answers be? Well, you know what it is. You're going to have to find out by watching the next episode of the Adventurers Guild.